Welcome, Libra. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a reading for you. This is for the new moon in Gemini on the 14th of June. And this is a time when not only the sun and moon are joined in Gemini, but Uranus is also there as well. So there's a spread of degrees, but the energy of Gemini, ruled by Mercury, is activated as Mercury is in the sign of Cancer. So there's a way that you are breaking through assumptions you have about the way something is supposed to look or the way you're supposed to proceed in some very foundational aspect of your life, of your profession. Maybe the way you do business is being challenged, but you're also on a personal level really exploring as well how emotions and words are shaping your reality, your intentions, your goals. For many of you Libras, particularly if you have Libra in the 9th house, you are being impacted by, or Libra rising, I should say, you're being impacted through your dreams, through your desires to extend your knowledge, or through physical travel. And as I was meditating, Libra, I first heard the rush, the sound of gentle water flowing, burbling, and then the smell of water and the sound of the roar became louder and louder until a beautiful waterfall appeared in a natural setting. It was quite dynamic, it was full, and I wanted to share that fountain with you. So this is telling me in some ways that your emotional floodgates are wide open, your emotional intelligence is bursting forth through your interactions and activities, and perhaps already skilled at facilitating discussion, ideas, conversation. You're allowing this emotional energy, this desire to express a more mature understanding of what you need. You're extending that in your relationships or all of your exchanges of energy. So I'm going to start with the Yogic Path Oracle, and I've pulled the card Bhakti. And reading from the guidebook, you've been walking on the path of devotion. You are devoted to something greater than yourself, your body, your possessions, or new desires. This dedication is to the divine. So now it is time to ask yourself, what does divinity mean to me? When do I feel close to divine? Paths to yoga, mantras, devotional meditation, prayers to gods and goddesses, offering service to those in need, and spending time in nature. The selfless path of yoga can take you to the greatest ecstasy of all, the bliss of devoting yourself to spirit. So this really is featuring a kind of ascendancy that you are experiencing, and this seems to be consistent for you air signs in this moment. This opening up to the emotional depth in a way that is easily translatable into words. The relevance or application of these emotional intuitions that you're having, that you're sharing, are something that applies to both yourself and to your interactions with others. And I pulled the grief card from the soul's mantra. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So part of what I'm feeling in view of this vision of life of water being the foundation of all life on earth, is this long passing of energy, witnessing and understanding the passage of souls from one state to another. There may be some incremental losses that you're experiencing, but the opportunity to truly grieve those is still with you. and is helping you to open up more and more consciously to this idea of life's passing gently, that we're here for a higher purpose. There is a higher truth that you are now able to participate in, enjoy, appreciate in your life, become a function of life-giving energy. So in the present moment, you have the Lover's card. And this is talking a little bit about the result of a way in which you have developed this deeper relationship with yourself and how that has reflected on all your relationships. But this is in concert with this idea of emotional intelligence. And this, I must say, is something that has been ramping up for many of us during these times, as Jupiter's been in Cancer for a while. And that really encourages us to develop and grow in this mode of sensitivity, intuition, tapping deeply into our needs and to intuiting the needs of others. You are understanding that it is about a larger meaning, long-term development, that you are supporting others to understand as you yourself are seeing the value in centering yourself in all of your exchanges, claiming what it is you desire, and choosing things that allow you an opportunity to build and grow together. So this can have to do with a larger organization of a project or effort that you're involved in, where you are more selective about your alliances and a kind of cherry picking from the many encounters you have through some particular work you're doing to identify those that can be more partners rather than friends or allies. So it feels to me like you're particularly choosing partners in this point and have some opportunity to do so in a way that is very reflective of where your goals are now, what your long-term benefit is you're perceiving. In the past, the Ten of Cups, wow. This describes a holistic community that you're a part of, that you feed, that supports you, that surrounds you in a way that makes you feel safe, protected, and abundant. You have made yourself a citizen or a collaborator, a collective member, a neighbor in a community that represents the community you now understand yourself to be a part of. This also feels like a citizen of the world energy. Lots of interruptions here today. Okay, so your future, the Three of Wands. You're moving out of this place of really feeling supported and buoyed up by this community. This community you would define as life-giving. This may be the same community you are serving through your work, through your efforts, through a project. But you are carving out a space for yourself in that community. You may be heading up a project or heading up an aspect of that communal experience through a service that you offer or through a community that you want to explore. So this card indicates to me that you are moving forward and activating a plan that will bring a larger, more inclusive population into your camp, into your community or neighborhood as part of the collective. This can almost be like an outreach effort that you're making to draw in more people, or explore less familiar aspects of your region, your community, the world that you inhabit, so that you want to learn, you want to grow. If this reading is resonating for you, Libra, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all of you that are here and all the ways that you support me. Thank you so much. And for the Ten of Cups, in the past, I'm going to pull a couple of clarifiers. So we have the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. Interesting. Yeah, I'm feeling a sense that you've stepped away from a more traditional family, perhaps, which it forms your base, the base for many of us, and the confines or expectations of that traditional family. Perhaps there was a role you played or a profession you practiced that had you really limited, or you had a limited expectation of its possibilities. But because of your devotion, your love, your practice, you have become much more devoted, passionate, informed, energetic, knowledgeable about what it is you have been doing. And I feel as though you've really reshaped the trajectory of the expectations of yours. So this is about knowing that you are making a change, but you're doing it through the resources you've been given. There isn't the sort of typical rejection of the past that I see, or rejection of something that felt inadequate to you. There's more a sense here where you found your niche and you're really growing into that, and that makes you happy because what you do supports this community that you live within. In the present, the Lover's card is clarified by the Star. The Star has been in everyone's docket this round, and Page of Cups, lovely. Yeah, I'm sensing from you this real expansion around the possibilities of those that surround you. And as was stated earlier, feels like it's about pulling into your gift, your talent, your emotional understanding of your own needs, understanding that your emotions are the basis of your creativity, and really allowing yourself to enjoy that aspect of your work, that aspect of your life or your relationships, and being aware that you are ascending through a number of layers of necessary training, social context, that everything is different now. The world is different, and that the community that you have embedded yourself in, you may have even created around what you do, is really changing the landscape of what's possible for you. And rather than pulling in further into your gifts, your dreams, your potential on an individual level, you're seeing how that is impacting your ability to have an effect on the community, on other communities, on a broader region, or even a global reach or expanse or connection with others who are doing the work that you are doing. So I feel like this is exploding your community, the community that you feel supports you in the long term, that you've found a place of belonging within. And this spurs you on a personal level, creatively, to move forward in a way that gives you clear direction, clear actions, ways to step up to this greater insight and possibility. So the Three of Wands is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. Yeah, there's a lot here about the team, the collective, the community that you work in and among. It's almost as though you've made a commitment to build up a practice or to have a practical imprint on the community that you participate in. The skills that you offer, the job you do, the role you play, you take seriously as part of the whole. There's very little that is differentiating you from those that you are choosing as your partners, as your collaborators, as your co-creators. You really understand your assignment. And because you're promoting a different way of working with others, you are largely respected for the success and victory that you're leading a team or a project toward. This takes you away from what is familiar, what it has looked like in the past, and towards something that is more possible, that has more practical application than you were led to believe it could or would. But that's because of the way in which you have understood and applied yourself to this particular skill or project, that you are admired by others that you work with, that you're setting an example of what it means to commit to the team, to the community, and that gives others examples to recognize how that works for them as well. So this feels like a real change in a way that you and a community you're a part of are even identifying themselves, seeing yourself as one, even connected up with the earth or the geography that you're situated on or among. There's a way that you see your service as growing something, some resource for others. And I'm going to pull an outcome card, a couple of cards over the grief oracle with the Chariot already and the Three of Swords. Interesting. Yeah, it almost feels like the heartbreak, the loss that you have endured. The emotions that you're allowing yourself to experience in this moment, and that it is an outpouring of pain, but it's pain that you now understand, or it's a series of failures that you see as part of the necessary process of getting you to where you are now. And that is powerful. That is really your acceptance that the challenges you faced have been to your own growth, have supported you to understand better what it is that you are engaging in, how you're making choices that you now feel better informed and empowered to make choices that are taking you towards the partnerships that work with you, that are aligned with you, that understand the work beyond yourselves. And this identification, this recognition is leading you very quickly, because of this attachment to your own needs, your own desires, to discarding with all the distractions that have held you back, to setting up very clear and healthy boundaries that allow you to play your role carefully, thoughtfully, responsibly, that lead you towards a success in fairly rapid fashion here, and that establish you in many ways as a leader, as in terms of the regard for you as exemplary of the role that each member in this community, on this team, can play in order to elevate the success of the project, whatever that project is. I'm going to finish up the reading with the calla lily. Rejuvenation is the theme, reawaken, and then stand stronger. Thank you so much for this beautiful reading, Libra. Until next time, namaste.